Last year, over 128 million Americans lost power, some for weeks, and if you think your phone and a flashlight are enough, you're already in danger. Here's the problem. Most emergency kits are packed with outdated or useless gear that fails the moment disaster strikes. But hidden in plain sight are 15 tiny, life-saving gadgets, smaller than your wallet, that have actually kept people alive during real emergencies in 2024 and 2025. Some are so secret, even hardcore preppers haven't heard of them. Others are shockingly affordable, yet dangerously overlooked. Today, I'm revealing the exact list, starting with the one device that saved a family trapped in a wildfire blackout, and why you probably don't have it. Imagine your phone dies, the power's out, and 911 isn't answering. Scary, right? That's exactly why number one on our list isn't just useful, it's essential. Meet the 2025 hand crank solar power bank like the BioLite Charge 40. This thing is a triple threat. It charges via solar, USB, and good old-fashioned elbow grease. Got 20,000 milliamp hours of juice. That's enough to keep your phone alive for days, not hours. During the 2024 Texas deep freeze, when millions were stranded without electricity for over a week, people used these to call for help, track emergency alerts, and even share their location with rescuers. No grid? No problem. Just 60 seconds of cranking gives you 10 minutes of talk time. And the solar panel, it works even on cloudy days because emergencies don't wait for perfect weather. And let's be real, if your go-to excuse is, I forgot to charge it, this gadget doesn't just forgive you, it slaps you awake with renewable energy. No more panic, no more dead batteries at the worst possible moment. But here's the thing, power means nothing if no one can hear you. So what good is a charged phone if you're in a dead zone? That's where the next gadget comes in. And trust me, it's the lifeline most people never think they'll need until it's too late. You're lost in the woods, no signal, no sound, just silence, and the sinking feeling that no one knows where you are. That's where number two changes everything, the LED emergency whistle light. This isn't just a whistle, it's a 120 decibel scream in your pocket, louder than a chainsaw, louder than a rock concert, and it can be heard up to 1 mile away. Pair that with a bright 3-mode LED light that runs for over 100 hours on a single battery, and suddenly, you're not invisible anymore. During the 2024 Pacific Northwest floods, hikers stranded overnight used this exact combo to signal rescue helicopters in pitch darkness. One blast, one flash, and they were found before hypothermia set in. And the best part, it weighs less than your car keys and clips right onto your backpack, belt loop, or even your dog's collar. Because when every second counts, you don't need gear that's somewhere in your bag. You need it on you. But what if the danger isn't outside, but in the very air you're breathing? Wildfire smoke, toxic fumes, or even a silent gas leak, things you can't see but can kill you fast. That's where the next gadget comes in. And it's so small, you'll wonder how you ever lived without it. You're cold, wet, shivering in the rain after your car slid off the road, and your only hope? Starting a fire. But your matches? Useless. Dissolved into soggy confetti the second the storm hit. That's where number three becomes your lifeline. The fire-starting Ferro rod keychain. This tiny metal stick, smaller than your house key, creates sparks hotter than 5,000 degrees Fahrenheit with just one swipe. Rain, wind, snow. Doesn't matter. It's 100% waterproof, windproof, and works even when soaked. In fact, firefighters and survival instructors swear by it because it lasts for 10,000 strikes. That's years of reliability dangling right from your keyring. In early 2025, a solo camper in Colorado got caught in a surprise blizzard. His lighter failed, his fire starter cubes melted, but that little ferro rod on his keys, one scrape some dry tinder from his pocket, and he had a flame in under 30 seconds. That fire didn't just warm him, it kept him alive until rescuers arrived at dawn. And let's be honest, matches look cute in survival TikToks until real life happens. This is the grown-up version of fire. No batteries, no fluff, just raw, reliable heat when you need it most. But fire won't help if you're tangled in debris, lost in the dark, or trying to rig a shelter with nothing but your bare hands. That's where the next gadget comes in, a silent hero woven right into something you already wear, and it's about to become your new secret weapon. You're stranded, injured, or just trying to build a shelter in the pouring rain, and you need rope now, but your pack's empty, your pockets are bare, and panic's setting in. That's where number four flips the script, the glow-in-the-dark Paracord Bracelet. This isn't jewelry. It's 10 feet of military-grade survival cord, woven into a bracelet you can wear every single day. Need to secure a tarp, tie a splint, hoist food out of reach of animals? Just unwrap it. And the glow-in-the-dark strands? They help you find it, or signal for help, in total darkness. During the 2024 Appalachian Trail flash floods, a hiker used his Paracord bracelet to lash together branches for an emergency raft, and then tied it to a tree as a lifeline while crossing a swollen creek, all from something that weighed less than an ounce. Think about it, you wouldn't leave the house without your keys or phone. Why leave without 10 feet of life-saving rope on your wrist? But here's the thing, none of this matters if you don't know what's coming. A storm rolling in, a wildfire spreading, a flood cresting, and you're the last to know. That's where the next gadget steps in. A tiny radio that doesn't just play weather, it screams warnings before disaster hits your street. And in 2025, it's smarter than ever. You're asleep, the power's out, and outside, a storm you never saw coming is about to hit your neighborhood with zero warning. That's the terrifying reality for millions until they discovered number 5, the NOAA weather radio with S.A.M.E. technology. This isn't your dad's staticky emergency radio. The 2025 models, like the Midland WR400, use S.A.M.E., specific area message encoding, to alert you only for threats in your exact zip code. Tornado in the next county, silence. But a flash flood heading straight for your street, it blares a loud, unmistakable alarm, even if you're asleep. During Hurricane Helene in late 2024, families in coastal Georgia got 47 extra minutes of warning thanks to these radios. That's 47 minutes to grab kids, pets, and go bags, instead of waking up to rising water at 3 a.m. And it runs on batteries, solar, or hand crank, so when the grid fails, it's still your lifeline to real-time emergency broadcasts. But what if you're already off the grid, deep in the backcountry, far from cell towers, with no one within miles? A weather radio won't help you then, but the next gadget will. It's smaller than a deck of cards, and it can summon help from anywhere on Earth, even if you're completely alone. And trust me, this one's a game changer. You're miles from the nearest road, no cell signal, no Wi-Fi, just you, the wilderness, and a twisted ankle. You can't walk out, and no one knows where you are. That's when number 6 becomes your guardian angel, the pocket-sized personal locator beacon, PLB, like the Garmin inReach Mini 2. This tiny device, smaller than your wallet, does something incredible. It sends your exact GPS coordinates to emergency responders anywhere on the planet, even in the middle of the ocean or deep in the Rockies. No cell service, no problem. It uses satellite networks, so as long as you've got a view of the sky, help is on the way. In early 2025, a solo backpacker in Utah fell 20 feet into a ravine, broken leg, zero reception, but with one press of his PLB, he triggered a rescue alert that reached the local sheriff's office in under 90 seconds. A helicopter was overhead within 2 hours. He later said, "That little box didn't just find me, it saved my life." And it's not just for adventurers. Keep one in your car, your bug-out bag, even your glove compartment. Because emergencies don't care if you're outdoorsy. They strike when you're least expecting it. Best part? Many models now include two-way texting, so you can message rescuers, "I'm injured but stable," or "send medics, not just a ride." That kind of detail speeds up help and calms your panic. But what if you don't need a satellite and just a way to be seen? Imagine you're stranded at sea, lost in smoke, or buried under debris, silent, invisible, fading fast. That's where the next gadget comes in, a piece of gear so simple it's been used by pilots for decades, yet it fits in your wallet and costs less than a pizza. And in the right moment, it's brighter than hope. You're stranded on a mountainside at dusk, injured, exhausted, and a rescue plane circles overhead, but you're hidden by trees, shadows, and fading light. They don't see you. They can't see you. That's where number 7 changes everything, the emergency signal mirror, a credit card thin piece of polished glass that can reflect sunlight up to 10 miles. This isn't sci-fi, it's survival physics. With just a flick of your wrist, you can flash a beam so bright pilots and search teams spot it instantly, even through haze or light cloud cover. The U.S. military has issued these to pilots since World War II, and in 2024, a lost hiker in the Sierra Nevada used one to signal a passing drone during a wildfire evacuation. He was airlifted within 20 minutes. The best part? It weighs next to nothing, never runs out of battery, and fits in your wallet, glove box, or even taped inside your phone case. And unlike shouting or waving, which drain your energy and go unnoticed, this mirror works silently, efficiently, and with terrifying precision. One flash in the right pattern, 3 short bursts, and you've just sent the universal "I need help" signal. But here's the hard truth. None of this matters if you can't breathe. Wildfires are burning hotter and faster than ever. Floods stir up toxic mold. Power outages force people to run generators indoors, unaware they're filling their homes with invisible, deadly gas. You can have all the gadgets in the world, but if the air around you is poison, you won't last the night. That's where the next item comes in. A device so small you'll forget it's there until it beeps and tells you the air is killing you. And in 2025, it's not just smart. It's essential. You're safe inside your home. During a blackout, the generator's running in the garage. You feel fine, until you start getting dizzy, nauseous, and weak. By the time you realize what's happening, it's too late. This isn't a movie, it's how over 400 people died from carbon monoxide poisoning in the US alone in 2024, according to the CDC, and most never saw it coming. That's why number 8 might be the quietest hero on this list, the portable CO2 and air quality detector keychain. Now, don't confuse this with those bulky home alarms. The 2025 models, like the Temtop M10 or the new Nexair Mini, are smaller than a car fob, clip right onto your keys or backpack, and constantly monitor for carbon monoxide, smoke particles, and even wildfire PM 2.5 levels. The second dangerous gas is detected, it vibrates and flashes red, so you get warned even if you're asleep or wearing headphones. During the California wildfire season last fall, families used these to decide when it was safe to open windows or when to evacuate immediately. Others kept them in their cars during road trips through mountain tunnels or near idling traffic, places where CO can build up fast. And it's not just for disasters. If you're camping near a propane stove, grilling in a garage, or using a space heater in a small room, this tiny sensor is your invisible bodyguard. Because carbon monoxide has no smell, no color, and no mercy. The best part? It lasts for months on a single charge, costs under $40, and gives you real-time air quality readings on your phone via Bluetooth. Knowledge isn't just power, it's oxygen. But even if the air is clean, what if your water isn't? After a flood, earthquake, or hurricane, tap water turns toxic overnight, and drinking from a stream might seem safe until you're doubled over with dysentery 12 hours later. That's where the next gadget steps in. A straw so powerful it turns muddy river water into something cleaner than your bottled water, and it fits in your pocket. Seriously, this thing has stopped outbreaks in disaster zones, and it costs less than your lunch. You're thirsty, desperate. After an earthquake, the taps have run dry and the nearest stream is brown, swirling with debris and who knows what else. You have to drink, but one sip could knock you out for days with Giardia, E. coli, or worse. That's where number 9 becomes your lifeline, the portable water purifier straw. This isn't a filter, it's a microscopic fortress. The latest 2025 models, like the Life Straw Flex or Sawyer Mini, remove 99.9999% of bacteria, 99.9% of parasites, and even microplastics. Just dip it in the murkiest puddle, suck through the straw, and you're drinking clean, safe water. No waiting, no chemicals, no boiling required. During the 2024 Midwest floods, Red Cross teams handed these out to families cut off from clean water for over a week. One mother in Iowa used hers to give her toddler safe water for 5 days straight, while neighbors got sick from just a little sip of contaminated well water. It weighs less than a banana, lasts for 1,000 liters, that's 2,600 plastic bottles saved, and fits in your glove box, go bag, or even your coat pocket. And unlike purification tablets, which leave a weird aftertaste and take 30 minutes to work, this gives you water now when your body is screaming for it. But here's the kicker. It's not just for wilderness survival. Power outage, broken pipe, boil water advisory, this straw turns any questionable source into your personal oasis. Still, clean water won't help if you can't stop the bleeding, because in emergencies, the biggest threat isn't always hunger or thirst, it's trauma, a deep cut from broken glass, a gash from falling debris, and without fast action, even a small wound can become life-threatening in minutes. That's where the next gadget comes in, a medical breakthrough once reserved for soldiers, now shrunk down into a single sticky pad that can stop severe bleeding faster than your brain can process the pain. And if you've never seen it work, you won't believe what it can do. You're cleaning up after a storm when a shard of broken window glass slices your arm open. Blood pours fast, faster than you expected. You press a towel to it, but it soaks through in seconds. Panic sets in. Because here's the truth. You can survive 3 weeks without food, 3 days without water, but only 3 minutes without stopping severe bleeding. That's why number 10 is non-negotiable, the emergency trauma dressing with hemostatic technology, like the QuickClot Advanced or Celox Rapid. This isn't your average bandage. Embedded in the gauze are medical-grade clotting agents that activate on contact with blood, forming a gel-like plug that stops life-threatening bleeding in under 60 seconds. It's the same tech used by U.S. military medics in combat zones, and since 2023, it's been approved for civilian use in compact, easy-to-apply kits. In early 2025, a father in Texas used one after his chainsaw kicked back during post-hurricane cleanup. He applied the dressing, held pressure for 2 minutes, and walked to his truck, avoiding what could have been fatal blood loss. Doctors later said he'd lost less than a pint, thanks to that single pad. The best part? These dressings are lightweight, shelf-stable for 5 years, and come with clear instructions, even if your hands are shaking. Just tear open, press hard, and hold, no training required. And they're not just for accidents. Keep one in your car, your workshop, your hiking pack, because emergencies don't announce themselves, and when seconds count, improvising with a t-shirt just isn't enough. But even if you've stopped the bleeding, what if you're treating someone in total darkness? Fumbling for bandages, tweezers, or antiseptic while your flashlight dies? That's where the next gadget shines, literally. It's a first aid tool that also lights up your worst moments, and it fits in your shirt pocket like a pen. You've probably walked past it 100 times, never knowing it can be the difference between a clean fix and a dangerous mistake. You're patching up a deep cut in the dark, maybe after a car crash, a fall, or a kitchen accident during a blackout. Your hands are shaking, your phone flashlight just died, and you can't see if you've removed all the glass or if the wound is still bleeding. That's where number 11 becomes your silent partner, the mini first aid flashlight pen. This isn't just a light. It's a 3-in-1 survival tool disguised as an ordinary pen. At one end, a bright focused LED beam that lasts 20 plus hours. At the other, precision tweezers and a magnifying lens, perfect for pulling out splinters, ticks, or debris you'd otherwise miss. Some 2025 models even include a UV light to detect scorpions, pet stains, or hidden leaks in emergency shelters. During the 2024 Appalachian ice storm, a nurse stranded in her cabin used hers to remove a fishhook from her son's finger under a blanket with zero power. I couldn't have done it without that little light, she later told local responders. It weighs less than 2 ounces, runs on a single AAA battery, or rechargeable cells, and clips into your shirt pocket like any pen. You'll forget it's there, until you're on your knees in the dark, and it's the only thing helping you see clearly. And unlike bulky headlamps or dying phone flashlights, this stays with you, because emergencies don't care if your gear is buried in a backpack. But here's the thing, even with a clean wound and steady hands, cold can kill just as fast as blood loss. Hypothermia starts setting in at temperatures as mild as 50 degrees Fahrenheit if you're wet or injured. And that flimsy space blanket from your car kit, it tears if you look at it wrong. That's where the next gadget steps in, a thermal shield so tough it survived Arctic expeditions and California wildfire evacuations, yet folds smaller than a burrito. It doesn't just keep you warm, it keeps you alive. And if you're still using those crinkly silver sheets from 2010, you're risking everything. You're shivering, not from fear, but from cold. Maybe you're waiting for rescue after a car slid off an icy road, or you're huddled in a garage during a winter blackout. Your clothes are damp, the temperature's dropping, and that flimsy emergency blanket you've had since 2015, it ripped the second you unfolded it. That's why number 12 is a game changer. The Reinforced Emergency Thermal Blanket 2025 edition. This isn't the crinkly, tear-prone foil sheet your old kit came with. The latest models, like the Survive Outdoors Longer Heat Flex or the new SOL Origin, are made with ripstop fabric bonded to reflective insulation, making them waterproof, windproof, and tough enough to be reused dozens of times. They reflect 90% of your body heat back to you. Critical when hypothermia can set in at temperatures as mild as 50 degrees Fahrenheit if you're wet or injured. During the 2024 Midwest deep freeze, families sleeping in unheated homes wrapped these around children and elderly relatives to maintain core body temperature for over 72 hours. One EMT in Minnesota even used one as an improvised litter to drag a stranded hiker to safety because it didn't tear under weight or snow. It weighs just 6 ounces, packs smaller than a water bottle, and can be used as a ground tarp, rain poncho, or even a signal reflector. And unlike disposable blankets, this one won't disintegrate the moment you need it most. But warmth alone won't help if you don't know where you are or which way to go. When GPS fails, cell towers go dark and trails vanish under snow or smoke. Getting turned around can be deadly. That's where the next gadget comes in, a navigation tool so reliable, it's been trusted by pilots, sailors, and special forces for over a century, yet fits in your palm and costs less than a tank of gas. And in 2025, it's smarter than ever because sometimes the oldest tech is still the best when everything else fails. You're hiking when the sky turns black. Rain pours down, your phone dies. GPS? Gone. The trail vanishes under mud and fog. You take a wrong turn, and suddenly, you're not sure if you're heading towards safety or deeper into danger. That's when number 13 becomes your silent guide, the digital compass with altimeter and barometer, and this isn't a toy from a cereal box. The 2025 models, like the Suunto MC2 or the new Brunton Atlas, give you true north, current elevation, and even storm pressure trends, all without batteries, satellites, or cell service. The barometer detects sudden drops in air pressure, warning you of incoming storms hours before they hit. The altimeter tells you if you're climbing or descending, helping you match your location to a paper map. Yes, you should still carry one. During the 2024 Colorado wildfire evacuations, hikers cut off from roads used their compasses to navigate through smoke-blinded terrain toward river valleys, the safest escape routes. One group credited their digital compass with keeping them oriented when visibility dropped to 10 feet. And it's not just for the wild. In urban disasters, like blackouts or earthquakes, knowing direction helps you find evacuation routes, rivers, or high ground. Plus, it fits in your pocket, lasts a lifetime, and works in minus 20 degrees Fahrenheit or 120 degrees Fahrenheit. No charging, no updates, no failure. But what if you don't just need direction, but actual shelter? When rain soaks through your clothes, wind steals your warmth, and night falls fast, a roof, even a temporary one, can mean the difference between discomfort and survival. That's where the next gadget comes in, an emergency shelter so light you'll forget it's in your bag. Yet strong enough to protect you from blizzards, monsoons, and 40-mile-per-hour winds, it inflates in 30 seconds, sleeps 4, and weighs less than your lunch. And after the 2024 Pacific typhoons, survivors said it was the only thing that kept them dry and sane while waiting days for help. You're stranded. Maybe your car broke down in a desert. Maybe a storm flooded your campsite. Night is falling, temperatures are dropping, and rain is starting to pour. You're soaked, exhausted, and there's no roof in sight. That's where number 14 becomes your instant fortress, the inflatable emergency shelter. This isn't a tent you spend 20 minutes wrestling with in the dark. The 2025 models, like the Heat Sheets Emergency Bivy 2.0 or the new Survive Outdoors Longer All-Weather Haven, unfold in seconds and inflate with just a few breaths or a built-in air pump. Weighing only 8 to 12 ounces, it packs smaller than a soda can but expands into a waterproof, wind-resistant shelter that sleeps 2 to 4 people. During the record-breaking Pacific typhoons of late 2024, families trapped on rooftops used these shelters to stay dry for over 36 hours while waiting for rescue boats. In Alaska, a snowmobiler caught in a whiteout spent the night inside one and walked out at dawn with dry clothes and core body heat intact. It's made with reinforced thermal material that reflects body heat, blocks wind up to 40 miles per hour, and sheds rain like a duck's back. And because it's inflatable, there are no poles to lose, no stakes to fumble with in the mud. Just unroll, inflate, and survive. But here's the final truth. Even with power, light, body heater, warmth, and shelter, you're not truly ready unless you can signal, connect, and be found when everything else fails. Which brings us to number 15, the last gadget on our list, but possibly the most vital. It's so small it fits on your keychain, yet it's been the difference between life and death for pilots, sailors, and lost hikers around the world, and in 2025 it's more accessible and more powerful than ever before. You've got power, shelter, clean water, a way to stay warm, but you're still alone. No one knows where you are, and time is running out. That's where number 15 delivers your final lifeline, the personal emergency locator mirror with SOS Flasher, the ultimate last resort signal tool. Yes, we talked about signal mirrors earlier, but this 2025 upgrade is different. It's not just reflective glass. It's a dual mode rescue beacon. One side is a high precision mirror for daylight signaling, and the other houses a solar powered LED strobe that flashes the universal SOS pattern, ATI, for over 72 hours. No batteries, no charging, just sunlight by day, automatic strobe by night. In early 2025, a kayaker capsized off the Oregon coast. Drifting for 18 hours in fog, he used the mirror side to catch a Coast Guard helicopter's attention at dawn. When clouds rolled back in, the SOS strobe kicked on and guided rescuers straight to his life vest. "I thought I was done," he said. "That little disc saved me." It's thinner than a credit card, weighs less than an AA battery, and clips to your pack, life jacket, or even your shoe. And because it requires zero power input from you, it works when you're injured, exhausted, or unconscious. This is the gadget that turns hope into rescue. So there you have it. 15 small, smart, life-saving gadgets that have already proven themselves in real emergencies in 2024 and 2025. None of them cost a fortune. All of them fit in a small bag or even on your keyring. But here's the real question. Which one will you get first? Because when disaster strikes, it won't care how prepared you thought you were, only how ready you actually are. Look, disasters don't send invites. They don't care if you're ready or not. But here's the good news. You don't need a bunker, a fortune, or survival training to tilt the odds in your favor. Just 15 small, smart choices, things that fit in your pocket, on your keys, or in your glove box, can mean the difference between panic and peace, between waiting helplessly and taking control. These aren't gadgets for preppers or extreme adventurers. They're for you, for the parent, the commuter, the weekend hiker, the city dweller who just wants to sleep easier knowing they're ready for the unexpected. Because when seconds count, size doesn't matter, but being prepared does. And honestly, the scariest part isn't the emergency, it's realizing too late that you could have been ready. So if this video gave you even one idea that might save your life, or someone you love, do me a quick favor. Hit like, it helps more people see this life-saving info. Subscribe, because next week I'm breaking down the 7 emergency myths that get people hurt and what to do instead. And share this with someone you care about, because real safety isn't just about you. It's about making sure the people you love come home too. Stay smart, stay ready, and never underestimate the power of a small tool when everything else fails.